welcome to today's daily download. On today's download, we are going to talk about a Google tool called Jamboard. Jamboard is it's a whiteboarding tool, and you and your students all have access to it. So I'm going to give you a quick little overview, and then if you want more information, there's a link to a tutorial down below that gives you more ideas and more in-depth information on how it works. All right, so here we go. Let's go find Jamboard. So I'm on my home Google page. I'm going to head over here to my grid. Some people call it a waffle. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and I'm going to scroll down until I see Jamboard. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and this is going to open up Jamboard for me. Now, another way I can open up Jamboard is if I'm in my drive, I can head over to my drive. I can click on New and go down to More. And then if I scroll through my list, Jamboard is on my list. And so that is another way. The third way that you can do Jamboard is you can go out to Jamboard. Oh, well, there it wants to pop up anyway. Jamboard, if I spelled correctly, sorry about that, right there, jamboard.google.com. And that's the third way that you can find Jamboard. So there are lots of different ways that you can access it, and your students can access it the exact same way. All right, so you're going to see your recent Jamboards on here. But when you want to create a new one, you're going to click down here on the right, and you're going to go ahead and click on that plus sign, and this will open up a brand new Jamboard for you. As you can see, it's like a whiteboard. You have your toolbar on the left. I am not going to run through everything because I know you can do that on your own, but you can see you have a drawing tool. One thing I do want you to notice is there's this little teeny tiny carrot top, and unless you know to look for that, you might not see it there. That's how you would change different things like your color, etc. When you come down here to your eraser, again, if you look for that little teeny tiny carrot, well, now I'm not even going to see my teeny tiny carrot, but anyway, it's there. It will give you an option to erase the whole thing. Down here you will see here's my little carrot, and when I click on that it gives me options for more shapes. So just know that the carrot is there and it's waiting for you to click on it. Okay, so you have an eraser. Here, if you wanted to have a select button, this will help you in case you already have a product on your whiteboard. If you want to add a sticky note, this is probably one of my favorites because I was thinking this is where you could have a discussion board with your students. You can add it as a sticky note. If you shared everything with shared this with all of your students, everybody could put in and have a discussion board with their own thoughts and whatever on it. So love the sticky note feature. You can add an image. Again, this is like any other Google tool for how that works. You can drag it around, resize it, etc. I already talked about the shape. You can add a text box. You can add this anywhere that you want. Add a text box in there. And then finally, if you're presenting on here, here's your little laser tool in case you want to draw attention when you're presenting something to your students. So how would you use Jamboard? There are several different ways that you could use this tool. First of all, let me show you. When I click on the three little dots at the top, you can download this as a PDF. So if students wanted to download this and then submit something that they have done through Canvas, they can do that. If you wanted to save this as an image, let me chat with you for just a second about this. Let's say that you went out and you found a picture of a Venn diagram and you made a whole Venn diagram out of this and you wanted to share it with your students so that they could go in and fill it in, but you didn't want them to be able to change any of the base features. You can create a template right here for your students, and then you can save that as an image, and then you could either create a new Jamboard and add that image as the background image, or you could add that into a Google document. There's a lot of different things that you could do with that. So I guess just kind of free think about that a little bit. You could have a picture on here, and then you could add some label boxes, and then you could save that and send that to students, and then the student would just go in and use the text feature, and they would type in the answers on the labels. Okay, you can make a copy of your Jamboard if you want to do that. So there's several features here that I think make this really, really helpful. If you want to create a new one and have like a slideshow, over here, this is going to give you a slideshow effect. So I have seen teachers use this with a whole class board, so they would just come in and they'd put a student's name at the top of each one of these, and then it becomes like a slideshow for a whole class. And then you would just need to talk with your students about making sure that they're only going to the slide that has their name on it, etc. Now, the other thing you can do is you can share this just like you can with any other Google tool. However, let me show you a couple of things that make this really helpful. If you're in Canvas, you could add this as a Google assignment. You can also change this to, if you have a link, maybe you want to change this to everybody can edit. This would be great for a discussion board. And then you could copy that link, and then in Canvas you can just put that link in Canvas, and then all your students click on it. Everybody has the same copy, and then everybody could go in and they could add their post-it notes in here. And so it becomes a discussion board. There's some really great things being done with Jamboard and math. So if you are a math teacher, I would strongly suggest you Google how to use Jamboard and math, because you could create, say, 4 slides of math problems on here. And the math problem is at the top. You want your students to go in and demonstrate their work for you down here. They could demonstrate their work, submit that, and then you have a copy of how each student has done their work. And then several other ways that you can be really clever with math and Jamboard. All right, so just really quickly, I wanted to share with you what you could do with Jamboard, how to locate it, how to find it, and then if you want more information or want a tutorial that goes into a little bit more depth, the one down below, he's really fabulous and gives a great tutorial. So thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow on the Daily Download.